to be using this pomade by Anastasia and also the brush. My shade is in medium, and I'm going to be taking the brush and dipping it into the pomade, and start off by outlining your eyebrow on the top, and then proceed by doing it on the bottom as well. I'm going to continue making that outline, and then I'm going to put the rest of the product throughout my eyebrow, and also towards the front I'm going to apply the remaining product on the brush. I don't see the need to add more because then it would be too bold of an eyebrow, and I like keeping mine this way. Soon I'm going to be posting a video only on how to do your eyebrows, or at least how I do them. And this is the finished look. Next I'm gonna be taking a product from e-l-f that has the gel and the powder, but I only use the powder to set the gel from the Anastasia. I feel like it makes your eyebrows last much longer, and I really do recommend this. So now I'm going to be taking the concealer from Tarte, and with this flat brush I'm going to be applying it, and I'm only going to be taking a little bit because this concealer is really thick and does have a lot of coverage. I've heard really good reviews, and now I can see why. It's really long wear as well. So I'm going to be applying it under my eyebrow to shape up my brows, and only underneath, not on the top, because it leaves that white cast on the top, and you don't really want that to be shown. I recommend foundation instead for the top of the eyebrow. So now I'm going to be using the Mercier translucent powder to set my lid, and also, although this Tarte concealer doesn't crease, it's better to set it because it'll make your eyeshadow last longer, and trust me, it looks better as well throughout the day. Now I'm going to be taking the Jaclyn Hill palette. I love this palette. It has so many different eyeshadows. But I'm going to be taking for this tutorial the third shade in the first row. And I'm going to start off by applying this color as my transition color onto my crease. It's gonna be a little bit above my crease since I'm doing a cut crease. I want to make sure it's above, and that way when I do cut the crease, that color will show, and you'll see what I mean throughout the video. I'm also going to be building the color up little by little. I do not want a harsh look. And I'm going to be doing this to both eyes, of course. So now I'm going back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be using another one of her shades, and this is the third color in the second row. I'm sorry, I do not know the names. and I'm going to be dusting a little bit off and applying it a little bit underneath my crease and using a little bit more to intensify it. As you can see, I'm also using tape to sharpen the eyeshadow and create that look. You really don't need to do this, but I do it to create a cleaner look. Now I'm going to be using this brush from Morphe. It's kind of fluffy but flat at the same time, and I do not know which one it is because it came like in a package, but I'll link it down below. And I'm going to use a kind of brown shade, and I'm going to put it on my crease to darken. Make sure to also add a little bit above the crease because the cut crease is going to be on the bottom, so you want to make sure that the dark color stands out. So now we are ready to cut the crease, and I'm going to be using a flat brush and the Tarte concealer. You can use any concealer, but this one and also the NARS one is pretty good. And usually I start towards the middle, as you can see, and then I start forming it towards the inner corner, and then I begin to expand it. Also make sure that it's a little bit more above than your crease. That way when you open your eye, that cut crease will be able to show, and the glitter that we will put on top will also be visible. I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to be using the shade that is kind of white to set that concealer. You don't need to apply too much, just a little bit. If you do have further questions about the products I'm using or any of the brushes, I'll be glad to answer them. Just comment down below. I'm going to take that exact same shade I used before to put it on my brow bone and make it stand out, of course. For the inner corner, I'm going to be using a different shade. Before I do my inner corner, I'm going to be using this glitter from Stila, and it's also called Kitten Karma. And the wand I'm going to be applying it with is from another glitter I used to own, but pretty much you can use a brush as well to apply it. I just used this because it formed a thinner line and it outlined pretty well as well. I'm going back into the Modern Renaissance palette to highlight my inner corner, and it's the golden color. I just felt like this color would make it pop better. And I'm also going to use the eyeliner from Kat Von D. I'm going in with this eye pencil liner, and I'm gonna use it for my waterline. I prefer you guys to use a waterproof one since sometimes they tend to smudge. What made the eyeliner for my waterline last longer was me going in to the Jaclyn Hill palette with the darkest shade and going over it. That way it's set, and it would also last longer, which definitely worked. Now for my under eye colors, I'm going back into the same shades, the third color and in the first and second row, and I'm going to put it right underneath the lash line and just go back and forth. Now I'm going to be dipping my brush into the Jaclyn Hill palette again, into this dark brown, just to bring back that color underneath my waterline. Also, I feel like this color worked better than the other two shades, just because they were too light and this one darkened up the look. I'm going to go in with these lashes from e-l-f, and they are $4, pretty cheap but really good. And I'm trying out this glue from Kiss. I'm going to later tell you how that glue worked for me. For now, I'm going to use the mascara from Benefit, the Roller Lash, and it's a good mascara if you're looking for curling and lifting. Before going in with my foundation, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Iconic Primer Stick, and I'm going to be trying it out for the first time. It's supposed to control your oils and kind of mattify it. I've been really looking for a primer like this because my face, it's really oily, especially around my forehead and also around my nose area. Now I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty foundation. It's a really good foundation. I've used it before, and it leaves your face so nice and it almost looks poreless, I would say. And I'm in the shade 310. With my beauty blender, I will just be applying the foundation all over my face and making sure it's well blended. As I did say before I was going to do, I'm cleaning up my eyebrows with the foundation. Taking the foundation down my neck to create an even color. So now I'm taking the Tarte concealer under my eyes and on my Cupid's bow, nose, and chin to kind of highlight my face and lighten it up. And I'm also taking this beauty blender from Techniques, and I'm making sure to blend it out. Again, I'm going into the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and this time I'm going to bake. Since I do have an oily face, I like to put some translucent powder also on my forehead and underneath my eyes, around my nose area. That way it lasts longer for me. Next, I'm going in with another brush to apply the bronzer, and this bronzer is from the Sephora collection. If you are looking into a bronzer, I would recommend this one. It only has a scent. If you don't like scents, you might first want to try it out at Sephora and see if you like it. Now I'm going to be using blush, and this one is from the Sephora collection as well. This one is in the shade Passionate. With a Real Techniques brush, I'm going to be wiping off the translucent powder that was sitting on my face. Now I'm going to be taking the MAC setting spray to spray my beauty blender and use it for the highlight. And I've been really wanting to try the Maybelline highlight. And let me tell you, for $10, this is a really good highlight. And it's a golden shade. There's also a pink shade, but I decided to go for the gold one, of course. Also highlighted the bridge of my nose and other areas of my face. And the MAC setting spray really intensified the highlighter. So I used this product from Maybelline, which also happens to be matte, and it's in the shade 70 if you want to get it. for the center of my lips, I will be using Double Dare, and it's a shade from Kat Von D. This part is totally optional, but I decided to add the Fenty Beauty gloss on top and illuminate the look. I'm using the flat brush to clean around my lips for any areas that I might have made a mistake. Now I'm taking the MAC setting spray to set my look. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on the notifications. And if you do have any suggestions on anything you want me to do, comment down below. Say hi to my doggy, Spiky.